decided that I would rack my brain for all of the possible mistakes that I could come up with. And I came up with four different categories of mistakes. And today I want to talk to you all about mindset and the impact of mindset on keeping you from reaching your weight loss and fitness goals. So, if you're ready, let's do it. Hey mamas, Alexandria here, 35-year-old toddler mom, therapist, and gym rat. I lost nearly 40 pounds postpartum and it changed my life. So now my goal is to help other mamas and other women to be the best version of themselves and to meet their goals. So honestly, I have this on my list as my very last of the sort of mistakes that you could make, but I think realistically, mindset may be the most important of all of these and the most crucial. There are several mindset mistakes that you can make that could be keeping you from reaching your health and weight loss goals. So let's get into them. So number one is decision fatigue. So decision fatigue is basically the idea that the longer amount of time we spend awake, the more likely we are to make decisions, or the more difficult it becomes to make like the good decisions. We're less likely to kind of argue with ourselves about making a positive choice. This is why I talk about breakfast in my food and nutrition video, right? Because it's much easier to decide that we're going to make healthy food choices at the start of the day than at the end of the day. We're much more likely to grab that cookie at 10 p.m. because our brain is tired and doesn't want to argue with ourselves about the cookie that we're going to eat or not going to eat. It's like, whatever, fine, just eat the cookie, if that makes sense. And so decision fatigue can be really important in understanding the dynamic, and that's why it can be so important to track your food and keep up with whatever calorie budget that you're living in, because the decision fatigue at the end of the day is what's going to cause you to not get that workout in because you didn't work it in at the start of your day. Or it's going to be the reason that you eat that cupcake even though it doesn't fit in with your calorie budget because you weren't tracking, and that sort of. Number two is worrying about overdoing it. And this one was a big one for me. Like I mentioned in one of the other videos, I believe the exercise video, that's part of the reason why I love the Woo bands so much. That video will be linked. I know I'm linking like all the videos, but that's the reason why having a Whoop strap has been so helpful for me, is because it gave me the ability to see what my body was capable of. And I think oftentimes we underestimate what our bodies are capable of from a physical fitness standpoint. I had athletic asthma as a kid, and so, I used to get like overtired and pass out and like too short of breath. And so I think I had gotten myself like so psyched out and scared that I was going to do something to like hurt myself that I wouldn't push myself as hard. But now that I can physically see that information, I can get past the mental block to what my body is actually physically capable of. I hope that makes sense. And so I think it's important that we make sure that while we don't overdo it and hurt ourselves, it is important that we push our body enough out of our limits so that we can actually see results. If you're lifting, the same 5-pound weights for all of time, you're not going to see the goals that you want to see because you're not pushing your body outside of its comfort zone. And we really have to do that in order to see the goals that we want in order to meet those. And if you love this kind of content, I would love if you would come and join us non-judgy mom friends. I would love to come and be your non-judgy mom friend who comes along and helps you to meet your goals. So if you love this kind of content, if you're finding it helpful and useful, please make sure that you subscribe and say hello in the comments. I want to say hi to you. I want to talk to you. I want to be your friend. So please come and say hello. Tell me you're new. Tell me you're not new. Whatever you want to say. I would love to hear from you. The next one is, this one I see all the time, especially in my office. As I mentioned, I am a therapist, so I see this a lot. But it's not believing in yourself, not deciding that you can, in fact, do this, and allowing yourself to get derailed because maybe you're doing something differently, or things aren't going the way that you hoped they would, or you had a bad day, or you ate outside of your calorie budget, or whatever, right? And allowing that to like pivot and spiral, because oftentimes what will happen, and I was definitely guilty of this, is we get in this headspace of like, well, I'm going to do X routine, and then when we don't do that for like one day, it's like the be all end all, and we're like, oh, I can't even do this for like one day, I quit. Instead of being like, okay, we didn't live in our calorie budget today, but tomorrow's a new day, new decisions to be made. Let's start fresh. And so if you can keep that perspective on it and not allow today's decisions to impact tomorrow, you'll be more likely to reach those goals that you want to reach, and believing in yourself that you can do it. You have to give yourself small wins and not beat yourself up every single time you didn't do something like exactly on the mark that you said you were going to do it that way. And so it really is important that you believe when you start this process that you physically can meet whatever that goal is you set out to meet, whether it be to lose a certain amount of weight or whether it be to, be a certain level of fitness. Now make sure that it's reasonable and achievable, right? But you still should believe in yourself first. That's really crucial. And if you don't believe in yourself, sit down and examine, like, what's going on? Like, what is it about this goal or this thing or me as a person that I don't believe that I can do it? And if not me, why not? Why not me? Okay? All right. The next one, and this is definitely weight loss specific, and that's getting distracted by the number on the scale. This is definitely one that I see people get stuck on a lot, and I think thankfully I see a lot now with like fitness influencers talking about this a lot on the internet. So hopefully it's reached you, but just in case you've missed it, the number on the scale matters, but it isn't everything. And I think a lot of times, if we're just tracking the number that's on the scale, it can be very easy to get distracted by that number and lose sight of our goals because, oh, I gained a pound, or I gained 2 pounds, or the scale hasn't changed. It's crucial that you take pictures. It's crucial that you take measurements because the scale, while it is helpful, it's not the be all end all, and there are things about the scale that it can't tell you. Like currently, my scale, which is one of those smart scales, which is great, I like it, it's literally telling me that I have excess body fat, okay? And I will insert a picture of me, and it says I have excess body fat, okay? I'd like to tell it to stick it, anyway. Sorry, anyway. My point being is that the scale doesn't know everything. The scale matters, but it's not the be all end all. So make sure that you're taking pictures so that you can see that, but also be cognizant of how do you feel? Like, how does my body feel? Because that matters just as much, if not more, than the number on the scale or, what you look like from a physical appearance standpoint. Look, I get it. It's cool. If you want to be a certain level of physical fitness, like, let's not play games here. Let's not pretend that, like, we don't want to look good and that it doesn't feel good to, like, look a certain way. Like, let's not pretend that. I'm not here to play games. There's nothing wrong, with not looking a certain way, right? I think all bodies are beautiful, and I think there's no reason to say that, like, one is more beautiful than the other, but some of us just feel better, like, looking a certain way, and that's allowed. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And so it's just, we want to make sure that we're not getting distracted and derailed by the number on the scale not moving and then just deciding that we're going to quit, because there are a lot of factors involved. And the last one is thinking that weight loss should be a quick process. I think, and I've definitely been guilty of this. So, like, I am not throwing shade. I've definitely done this. Like, I think we want it to work so bad that when it takes longer than we expect it to or that we hope it will, we give up and we get derailed. So it's important to remember that this is a process, and if you're trying to lose weight, there's no fast and easy way to get there. Anything that you do that you want to maintain, right? Because we don't want to just lose weight and then end up gaining it all back, right? If you want to lose weight in a sustainable way, long term, it's really important that you make sure that you're doing things that you can maintain long term, because that's the way that you're going to maintain the weight loss. There's no secret to maintaining weight loss. The secret to maintaining weight loss is to do it in a healthy way so that you can keep doing it for the rest of your life. It's a lifestyle. It just is. A lifestyle, a religion. Sorry, Gilmore Girls. Anyway, so make sure that it's something that you can do all the time. And that's going to do it for the mindset. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if it was, YouTube should be recommending something that they think you will love. And I sure hope you love it too. And until next time, bye friends.